Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I am coming to you this evening with a general reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2016. Please keep in mind this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone, so please check back to your Moon and Rising sign as they are posted. Pardon me. Being that it's a general reading, there's no way that I can answer any questions about this as it pertains to your specific situation. That requires a personal reading. I do readings 6 days a week, and typically, I can turn around as anywhere between 48 to 72 hours, and that includes even the video readings. So, the way the way that the readings work is you give me your information, I meditate on your birth date, the questions that you have for the tarot, and then I do the reading. And that is how I can tune into your own personal energies around your specific situation, and that is how we can get clarity on your situation. So it won't always resonate with the general readings. So I'm coming to you. I have the Mucha Tarot today. I really like this deck. I also have the Angel Answers, the Sibilas, and I also have the Neapolitans here in case we need a little bit of further clarification. Thus far, the readings that I've done, some of them have been pretty straightforward. The majority have been pretty straightforward. There were a few that were a little, I wasn't sure what I was seeing, but I did hear back from people who told me that indeed the reading did resonate with them. So, even if one person gets it, then I've done my job. So we're going to go ahead and lay the cards down here. 9-card spread. Well, we lead off with transformation, the Death card. Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, the Nine of Swords. Wow. The Moon. Well. Knight of Pentacles. And then the Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords looks like it's been showing up in everybody's reading. I don't know what is happening. And underneath the deck, I have the Wheel of Fortune. Can you see her? She's very pretty. And I'm so sorry about the stinking glare. Okay, give me a second and let me see what the cards are trying to tell me here. Now I have a King of Pentacles and I have a Queen of Swords. And we know that the King of Pentacles would be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. However, this is the Leo reading, so it may be referring to a fire sign person, but someone who has the characteristics of this King of Coins. This would be someone in his positive who's very focused, very determined, could have a lot of money, business owner, very, very down-to-earth kind of individual. But then his negative, he can be someone who is quite into debauchery, simply because he has large appetites, can be stingy not only with his money but with his affections. If he's going to be in the positive of the coin suit, the earth suit, this means that it would be someone who likes good food and good wine and beautiful women and nice things. And then I have this Queen of Swords here. She would normally represent an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but then again she could be anybody, and typically this is someone who's a great communicator. They are, they don't mind, they don't mince words with you. They're able to get their point across quite well. somebody who can be a bit standoffish or may give the appearance of being rather standoffish, but that's only because they don't allow people very, very close until they've like scoped them out, you know, but will fight to the death for the people that they love. In her negative aspect, she can be a real bitch, cutting with her words, mean, spiteful, just no love, okay? Typically, when I see this queen come up, it always reads to me like it's someone who may have a job in editing, marketing, online, anything that has to do with communications, publishing, editing, writing, uh, something like that. So right in the center, though, I have this high priestess. And in a way, it's kind of like I'd rather see her in the center than I would at the end of the reading. But basically what I'm getting, particularly here with this moon, is that for some of you who may be dealing with a fire sign male, there's some confusion surrounding this person. I'm getting in the sense that something has ended. I mean, that's, you know, something has come to a close, okay, because there's death, all right? So something has ended. But as we know, with transformation, it is always turning into something else. So I can see most definitely that something has ended, okay? But then here we've got a new cycle starting with this Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is, I kind of like to, as I've started reading cards, I kind of notice that the wands can kind of show up like cups, because it can speak to emotion as well. Something that's passionate and fiery, but it also deals with our willpower, our desire to succeed, our ambition, our get up and go. So we can see that, and it's attached to this particular King of Pentacles. Now, if this is same-sex or heterosexual, whomever is going to take the male and or the female in the role, okay? And it looks as though there's some kind of ending that came about through this queen. Now, I'm not exactly sure if in this instance this queen is reading as an energy. I do not feel it is. I do feel it's a person. And perhaps maybe it ended because, and the person really didn't, which would be kind of strange for a Queen of Swords. I have the moon here at the base of her feet. And the moon is all about fears. It is about your subconscious, those things that you hide. We know that we cannot see, you know, and this could be dealing with the new moon coming up in Scorpio, but it could also go back to the full moon that we had in Aries on the 15th of October. This is the past row. This is past column. So this is past, present, future, past, present, future, and of course the interplay. And I have the 1, 2, 3 major arcana in the spread. And they're all kind of grouped together. But basically what I'm getting is that maybe there's some confusion in why something ended, even though this queen is known for her communication skill. Maybe it ended and she wasn't able to speak about why it ended, whatever this death card is referring to. Indeed, there is some confusion around why something ended, because I have the death card, the high priestess, and the 7 of swords. Now, sometimes with the 7 of swords, you know, most tarot readers say that it's always about lying and cheating and deception. You know, it could be stalking, it could be harassment. You know, I do have these cards together. Maybe somebody's harassing somebody and won't leave them alone. Sometimes I've seen it come up as a home move, and I'm going to throw that out because I have this this knight next to this 7 of swords here. But it speaks to really like something ended because of some type of deception. And maybe there were words, some miscommunications here. Maybe somebody just didn't even say anything and they left. Okay. And this could be a split up between, it kind of reads this way, like there may have been a split up between this king and this queen. And I've been noticing throughout all of the November readings, none of the elements are showing up as I would expect them to. I think when I did the Pisces reading, it was nothing but fire, hardly any water. So I've been noticing that theme here through November. So there's something else going on, and I think it's kind of speaking to other issues that people are dealing with after these eclipses have come through. We're moving into the end of the year. We're coming up on, you know, the new year, 2017. And so I think that for a lot of people, some things have come to the surface, and there may be particular areas that you've been lacking in, or that you've been, you know, you haven't really done what you should been doing, or maybe you've been afraid to take that move. And so it's sort of like people are presenting themselves in the reading in different ways, which could be to say that if perhaps there's somebody in your life that's not behaving, or it's like you don't know them anymore. Well, I think maybe this card is speaking to that as well. And I would think this would be with people you've been with for quite some time. You know, it could be something new. And I do see that this Ace of Wands with the High Priestess. See, the High Priestess speaks to knowing things, but not necessarily saying what you know. It's keeping things to yourself, being observant. It also can sometimes speak to the answer is unknown right now, because she doesn't tell you. But I can see that there's something, and maybe this could be an offer coming in, or an opportunity to do something, because I see it's this Ace of Wands is attached to this Knight of Pentacles here. And what's interesting about this Knight is he's looking back over his shoulder like, are you sure you don't want this? And so maybe what the High Priestess is, maybe it's speaking to a timeout between with accepting an offer. Maybe something has been presented, but someone's taking some time out. Maybe you haven't heard back from that person. Okay. And someone else is thinking about moving along here with the Moon. And I kind of feel like maybe this is a timing, but I have two cards that represent the Moon. Now, maybe someone might be having surgery. There could be some female issues here. And there's a worry about a surgery coming up. We do have the Nine of Swords here. Okay. I don't do health readings or anything like that, but that just kind of stuck out. This would be a female, perhaps some female issues going on here. So sometimes she can represent a surgeon as well. And there's a little bit of fear and worry and anxiety about that, you know. Maybe this is coming up around this full moon here, you know. Maybe this is someone second guessing. Maybe they don't want to have the surgery. But then this King of Coins, he's looking away. Something has ended for this king here. But there's something new. It's not only an ending, but it's like he's leaving an ending into, but he's left a beginning behind too. It would be different if it was like this. If it was death and then the king and then the ace. Because he's looking to something new. But this is like maybe something that ended. You know, these two cards just kind of don't, I can't put together. I mean, normally it would be, there's an ending and a brand new beginning right next to each other. But what I'm curious as to is, why are these two things together at the back of this king? If I had my druthers, I would have the king in between the two. This would let me know that he's passed through one phase. There he is, and he's headed into a new phase. But instead, I have death and then this, and then him. And that just kind of is odd to me. Underneath this king, there's also some worry with this king. The Nine of Swords, this is the fears and anxiety. You know, there's a lot of fear in this particular spread. There's a lot of unknown things, hidden things that are here. And it's like suddenly, you know, this ending came through and yay, something starts. But then these cards, these cards. This looks like a fear of someone being betrayed if they accept an offer. Maybe they don't have all of the information yet. Obviously, it's something that they don't trust about it. Here's the High Priestess. And what's interesting is both of these females, both the High Priestess and the female in the moon, you see how she's got the crescent over her head, she's got the crescent moon behind her, and they're both, these are towers or pillars here. So I would definitely think that perhaps something around the full moon and coming up on this new moon, I think it's tomorrow. The Wheel of Fortune is here. And this reading is kind of weird. The energy is kind of weird. It's like a stop-start kind of energy. Someone wanting to go forward with an offer, but there's something about it that they don't trust. There's worry here. Here's the moon. It could be some issues coming. Whatever this offer is, maybe bringing up some subconscious issues for somebody, some fears, maybe having to do with betrayal in the past. That's what the High Priestess. I'm going to wait to see. It's ended, but I'm going to wait to see if there's a betrayal. This Death card just kind of with this line. But the Wheel of Fortune says what has gone, what is down must come up. But it also speaks to whatever situation you find yourself in. It is through the choices that you have made. That's what you know, the karma is all about. Destiny, you can shape your destiny through your choices. You can't change your fate, so to speak. Like I was born black. I can't change that. That's my fate, to be a black person. And that's something I can't change. But then what I do as a black person, my destiny as a black person, is something that I can shape and change through to my choices and my actions. So let's go to the Sabilas. I don't even know where to begin. This is just an odd spread. And this king up here. Like maybe he's hiding something. He's hiding something, but it's like he's hiding it out of fear. This queen, I don't think has said anything yet. I think she's been observing, but she's a little worried. I think the queen knows more than the king thinks he does, and she does. And that's the fear. That's the fear. She knows something. Now, remember, she's a Queen of Swords, and so she's also a pretty good tactician. She strategizes to get the best benefit for her loved ones and herself. So her feminine intuition is telling her not to reveal what she knows. And maybe she's already made up her mind that this is it, but there too is something else that she fears. This is odd. I don't see that it's not looking to me like it may be a property issue or a custody issue. It could be a legal issue because sometimes she shows up as a judge. But then I would expect judgment or justice to have come out. So there's something going on here. It's kind of like both people are there's the king, the queen, and then the seven of swords. Now, maybe this queen is also talking behind this king's back. You know, this is just odd. And it's also like in the daytime, she holds up this image, you know, this confident, nobody can, this Amazon kind of a thing. But at night, she spends her time crying and worried and in fear. This is a really strange spread. And it goes from just like bad dreams and worries to perhaps full-fledged nightmares. See, death, Nine of Swords, and the moon. And this could be someone who might be having some kind of serious depression. Maybe they're becoming paranoid. But then if it's, maybe they've got a little paranoia going on. I wouldn't say a little, I would say a lot. And in which case, you know, if you find yourself, you know, in a bad mental state, please try to reach out and call someone and speak with them about that. Whatever it is, it's all due to this ending here. That was the first card down. Almost like somebody's going to run in and steal the offer. That's what it looks like. Somebody's going, hey, you know, you sure you don't want that? You know, this is my last offer. It's the last time I'm going to offer it to you. You sure you don't want it? And then somebody comes in and takes it. But I don't think it's nobody really coming in to take it. See, that's what I was going to say about the Seven of Swords. Sometimes it can be like somebody's, it seems kind of shady to you, but it may not be. And I think that could possibly also be a scenario where something seems really, really deceptive, but it's not. It's not deceptive, but it appears that way because there's no communication between the two people. It's like they're on different pages. But each one's trying to pretend like nothing is wrong. What stands out to me the most is this Nine of Swords. So that's the first card I'm going to take a look at. And it's kind of like it's affecting this queen across this row moving forward. And right now this is the king where he is. He's also worried. So it's definitely something to do with these two people. Now, I don't know if some of you Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings are dealing with an earth sign person and an air sign person. The cards do speak on many different dimensions at the same time. Somebody else, I was just overlooking at their channel, word for word, they say exactly what I say, got the same shit on their thing that I got on my website. Anyway, and sometimes that card can be plagiarism. So, Let's take a look at this Nine of Swords. Wow. Came out with the Tower. The Disgrazia card. Extreme misfortune. Wow. Viaggio. This is either a trip or a visit. And the Limoneo. Well, so there's some worry, anxiety, and fear. You know, I would have expected to say, okay, so the trip occurred, but it blew up, but now we're going to make up. But instead we have this Tower situation. Maybe this is someone going back over it in their mind, over and over and over again between these two people. Here. And maybe I don't get what the Limoneo, because that's the card of nuptials and marriage. So this maybe this is a breakup, like an engagement that fell through for some reason. You know, because it's like hey, yeah, there's an end of something, and then it start, but then he's not even looking at the new start. I mean, it was, the opportunity was there, but he's way over here now. Kind of like he passed it up. Oh, wow. Dispiacere just flew out. Told you. This has got a lot going on in it. I don't even know what card I was actually going to look at the death card. So we'll put that there. There's some angst over an ending here. I don't have any repeater numbers, so I can't say. Now, I can say this card literally means arrogance, vanity, haughtiness. In other words, somebody's ego, okay? But then also when you see the peacock, this is someone showing their true colors, yeah? Worried about that, an ending brought about maybe the way somebody has been perceived. Ah. So it's an ending, but this dispiacere, it's in the past position. So this, remember I was saying this reads like it's stuff that has something that's coming up from the past, and this was the first card down. So it's like maybe this is some holdover energy from something else. The male lover, l'amante. And he's looking back over either what, either he's self-reflecting back over perhaps the way he's been perceived. Maybe he has caused some anxiety for someone, some tears and some pain. And he's now that's transformed, okay, into a new way of doing. That's what the Ace of Wands says. That's the Ace is all about doing, having the willpower to do differently. That's what that's telling me. And he's doing something differently. And he's in this energy now. Okay. Let's look at the moon. See, I'm not going to lay any cards on that Wheel of Fortune because the Wheel of Fortune doesn't tell us anything. Right now, it kind of feels like things have been going back and forth, you know. Let's look at the moon to see what it has to tell us. Okay, I have a l'amica. Okay, and if this is not a person, this is about trust. This is a trust issue. It's a trust issue. The Bambino, also something new. Ah. Now 3 positive cards have come out on the moon. Now this moon is in a pivotal spot because it's the last card down on the vertical past row, but it is also the first card down on the future row. So now this could be something occurring perhaps in the past with the Lamik. You see, it's like there's a relationship here, okay? And or it's a relationship of trust, or it's a very, very trusted friend. But now it's like there's a new, either a meeting or a new coming together. But then here's the moon. And that's what doesn't make any sense to me. Because the moon talks about going down deep. Sometimes the moon can be all about dealing with the mother. She represents the mother in our charts, in the astrological chart. She is the mother. And here we have 2 versions of this female moon. We have the one who holds things and keeps things to herself. She may tell you, she may not. But this one brings up a lot of fear. And it's about going down deep, and it's the subconscious. So something is really being brought up through the subconscious. And if I'm not really able to pinpoint exactly, I can see that there's been, something has occurred. As if the trust has been broken somewhere. But there's a lot of other things going on here. Let's look at the 7 of Swords. Those are 3 very positive cards to come out. Whatever this thing is, this disgrazia, the 9 of Swords, it would speak to being worried about it and playing it over and over in your mind. But remember, it's perception, your thoughts. And so if this is bugging you, step off the treadmill in your mind and try to, with these 2 moon cards, really, really get in touch with what's going on. Not so much what the other person may be doing, but what it is you need to be doing. Because obviously he got his issues of his damn own. Because he's straight in line with the High Priestess and the Moon card too. So it's kind of like nobody is unscathed in this particular reading. Like both people are really affected by it in some way. Now let's look at this 7 of Swords to see what it tells us. Because it could read sometimes the moon with the 7 of Swords, or the High Priestess, particularly could be there's another woman, a hidden factor. But then, as I said, sometimes things appear to be deceptive when they're not. And this could be what all of the fear is about. This is so strange. Let's put some cards on this 7 of Swords and see where I'm glad I'm not a Leo, Sun, Moon, Horizon this in the month of November. Wait a minute now. I done been through my crap, so I get to say that. Giovani Fanciulla. Now, this speaks to attraction to a young girl, but it could also speak to something new. This something untried. Whew. The desperate jealousy. This is all over the place. This speaks to extreme attachment, suspicion, and doubt. 7 of Swords with that 9. And someone thinking about that. I don't know what this is, people. And there are definitely two women here. And there are two women here. The L'Amica and the Giovani Fanciulla. There's even a third woman. She's up here crying. But I think this speaks to, and maybe this queen goes along with this L'Amica, that this is someone who has in the past given wise counsel. Um, it reads somewhat like, I really don't know. But the Wheel of Fortune says that circumstances are going to be changing. So, in other words, and I think really with these two representations of the moon, um, it could be that something will come to light around the new. And see, these are crescent moons. They are, and we know that the moon is dark coming into the new moon, so there is no illumination on anything. So you may be having to rely on your intuition. And right now your intuition is not that good. And because you're not actually receiving any messages, speaking to anyone, talking to anyone, it's bringing up a lot of fears within you. Let's take a look and see what the... I do feel this is going to be changing. I just kind of wish I knew what the situation was. It's kind of like all over the place, but it's still, I think it's still one story, so to speak. Half of it may apply to some of you, half of it may apply to others of you, and then for some of you, the whole thing will apply. In terms of what the Sibilas are trying to tell me. This could even be that somebody has to come back from a trip because they found out that one of their loved ones has to have a surgery, an emergency surgery, so to speak. The disgrazia could be something like an emergency. This card can sometimes mean a job interview. This represents contracts. Sometimes the cards don't always, they show up in different ways. They can mean so many different things. Like maybe this disgrazia, it was something completely unexpected. So, but then it could be, a couple who's divorced. It could be somebody reneging on a commitment, let's say an engagement. It could be two people, two other women in the situation. It's kind of like the people's roles. Kind of nobody really knows what their role is, if that makes any sense. Let's pull a card. Well, remember, right down the center, I have the Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, and here's this knight who's looking over his shoulder going, are you sure that I can't help you? Are you sure that you don't want this? Are you positive? Because he's looking over and he's holding it up like, well, I'm not going to be in this position very long. Why? Because I'm getting a crick in my damn neck. All right. Do you see that? Reconsider. Can you see that? Whatever this thing is, I think something is going to come about through the turn of the wheel. Now look, it ain't gonna turn like this. It ain't gonna turn like that. It may take a while. It may take a while. But it says reconsider. Now I don't know if this king is going to reconsider. I don't know if this queen is going to reconsider. I don't know if this offer is going to be reconsidered. There there's a lot of fear in this particular spread. You know, it's just, there's death, there's angst, there's misfortune, there's secrets, there's what may be deception here, and then somebody being worried about that or suspicious that they're being deceived in some way, shape, or form. You know, and that's not to say that there is not deception going on, but I think with all of these, the moon represents illusion. It represents delusions. Remember I said it could be somebody who's like maybe in a depressed state, or they've got a lot of phobias, and they're thinking that people are out to get them. Well, you know, who am I to say? I can only give you the information of the cards. You know what? I'm going to pull one Impressionist Tarot and card, because these act somewhat like a, they're a tarot deck. I love them. They're based upon the four Impressionist artists, Manet, Gauguin, Van Gogh, and Manet. But they act more like oracle cards. I haven't really merged with this deck yet, but as soon as I do, I'm going to try to use it. I will be bringing back the Prisma Visions Tarot as well. Love that deck. I haven't used it in a while. I'm going to pull one card, just one, to see if it can give me some insight into this. It's a Ten of Cups. Now, that would be two tens. And, you know, we have, we do have the Lemoneo, we have the L'Amante, we have the Riunione, we even have the baby here. But remember, that's a 10. It's a transition. That means it's the most happiness that you can have before it has to start over. So in one regard, that could be what it's speaking about, the death. It's the end of a relationship. But there could be perhaps a reconsideration on the horizon. I don't know. In order to do that, well, what do you know? Look what's underneath the deck here. It's the Queen of Wands. It is the Queen of Wands. Now, ain't that something? It took another deck for her to show up. Okay, that's what I have for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I do hope those messages help. And until next time, namaste.